And hello, and welcome to a long overdue proper garden update. It's been a few weeks. I had meant to get one in a few weeks ago, but hey, today will have to do, and I hope you all don't mind. Anyway, just letting you know, it is May 14th here. A very lovely day. We had a very hot day yesterday, so making sure coming out and water the garden was very key. Thankfully, there wasn't, or rather today is nowhere near as hot. There's got a good breeze and it's clear, but about 20 degrees less warm, so glad of that. And hopefully that means the watering just done will take a while. So the way this is all working these days is that we are coming out on visits Tuesday and Friday, but it's kind of sporadic at this point. It's really a one-person visit each time. I'm handling Tuesdays, and friend Marianne is handling on Fridays. But hopefully starting next week we should be able to get a little more regular visits out and do a lot more, including a lot more harvesting, because some stuff is already starting to come through. And as you might hear in the background, we've got a few folks here also working on their gardens. It's just a great day to come out and visit. I'm glad to come out on this lunch break. So, just looking right here at the rose bushes, as you can see, everything looking really, really good here. Just all sort of growing in, lots of lovely blossoms coming along. We'll have to do some trimming here very, very soon. Some great growth here in the center one. As you can see, really spectacular. And then over here we've got a few ones going on the end with more coming along. As you can see, plenty of new growth. We've got a lovely rose like this one right here. It is great. And stepping back around here, looking at the smaller ones in the pots, going along, the rose just sort of kicking along, but the society garlic thriving happily. The artichokes, well, huge explosive growth. In fact, I believe this might be the best growth we've ever gotten out of the artichokes over here, as you can see, just uncounted numbers. And really, we got to do some harvesting here. The problem is we're not really sure if we can properly eat these all in time. So I've already told some of the fellow gardeners, please take some, because I think they really need to go to all sorts of good homes. So hopefully that'll go there. But as you can see, plenty of growth, lots of new ones coming in. We are not complaining. Plenty of artichokes to be had. Plenty of things to be cooked up with them, so we will get to that. Next door, the asparagus. Kicking along, again, as sort of some of the heat has gotten to them a bit, so hopefully some extra watering will just encourage them to continue growing. At the very least, they are still alive, so no complaints right there, and we'll see where that goes. Now, next door is evidence, unfortunately, of an unfriendly visitor. You can see from some of the disturbed ground there. I've already watered it down so it's less noticeable, but it looks like the gophers have invaded, unfortunately. On the bright side, they sort of have tackled the areas that don't have much going for them, so I will say yes to that for the time being. The sweet peas, as you can see right here, are mostly just sort of haphazard, but there is some growth with some of the peas, so not all is hardly lost. We've got some excellent growth in that one right over there, along next to the gladioles that are going along. But this disturbed ground down here, as you can tell, pretty much something's down there been eaten along. Not good, so we will just sort of see where that brings us. Hopefully, well, not return visit, but we're going to let the garden folks know about it, maybe set out a trap or something like that so we can take care of these little buggers. Over here, the poppy that was here is gone, and that could have been the gophers. I'm not sure. However, it was sort of ending the flowering part of its life. It is a pity, however, it is gone. It was actually kind of nice to see. The amaryllis, still going well, but the flowers are gone, and I have to wonder if the gophers maybe got to that too, so we'll see if this continues to grow and flower. The rosemary, meanwhile, is still the rosemary, quite happily going along, a little dry in some corners right there, but otherwise we've got some healthy green growth and it'll keep going. Now, some major success stories. Well, before we get to that, a not so much success story, a more sort of we don't know story. This is where the spaghetti squash was planted, didn't take, but what was here last year may be coming up. We're not too sure. Last year was definitely a case where we had zucchini squash in here. These aren't zucchini squash, and we're not too sure what this is. Frankly, in looking at it a bit, I'm wondering if it's a bit of Malabar spinach that sort of has come over here, because it looks kind of like that, but we're not sure. So we're just going to keep watering it because, hey, it's growth, and we will see where it goes from there. Okay, success stories in full. Unsurprisingly, the zucchini squash we planted here is just going to town, so no worries about that. As you can see down there, we've already got some initial growth coming in, and there'll be more to come. No worries about this. This is going to thrive like crazy, as per usual, so we'll have to do some beating back around the corners with it as we go. The tomatoes, meantime, no worries here. Compared to the last couple of years, this is great to see. We have some great success stories kicking in already. We've already got some tomatoes starting to form, plenty of flowers, plenty of growth, still more to come. We'll try and keep things propped up. All three are doing well. These are the two best right now, but the super steak down here is doing well enough in turn, so it just needs a little extra boost and it'll catch up with the rest. But plenty of tomatoes to come. I can already look forward to all the sauces I am so going to make with this stuff. Cannot wait. It will be fantastic. The corn, meanwhile, smash success, as you can see, growing very, very well. We've already got the tassels coming up, so we're going to have to take some real close care on these guys for the next few weeks here. You can already see down there, sort of looking around the corner, some of the tassels already starting to come in, so that means the ears are very much already starting to form, and there will be plenty more to come. So some wonderful growth, as you can see right here. Perfect spot for it. Great that we just went for it, and we are not going to complain when this is all over for sure. So plenty of corn for the cob and otherwise. And again, I'm thinking like storing up stuff, making corn chowders out of all this. So cannot wait to see what will be done with it. Meantime, last of the radishes are here. I'm going to actually just snag these before I go today. There are not that many left. So that is the basic garden overview. Oh, I should say over here where we planted the Mudabar, I think it was, and then the hollyhock. You know, we'll see what happens. We planted them, and we'll see what occurs. So the hollyhock itself is a 2-year plant, so I'm not going to expect anything immediately, but we'll just keep watering, and you never know. But that is pretty much the garden here right now. Looking all around, as you can see, some lovely, lovely growth all around us. Some really, really spectacular growth coming in. Some excellent corn over there, as you can see. Our neighbor's garden has got some just killer purple kale. I mean, just look at that right there. That is ridiculous in the best possible way. We've got some other growth coming in. Some onions over there. The neighboring vineyard doing well. And our across-the-way neighbors, mix. I would say some of that's looking a little too weeded, so I'm going to wonder if there's going to be a report on this one soon. Maybe this one needs to be opened up, but there's some cabbages or things like that down there doing fine. And then our next door neighbors here, plenty of growth. Some of this stuff is looking like it's starting to go, so maybe it's the end of its life cycle. But looking down over here, lots of green, so there's still some growth happening, and looks like we've got some corn coming in here too. So hey, neighboring corn as we go. And plenty more all around, as you can see. It's just really, really great time of year. Everything's starting to kick in. It very much is spring. Excuse me, is spring. Beg your pardon. Is spring around here, and cannot wait to see where everything goes from that point forward. So hopefully no more gophers. We'll see what happens, and I'll talk to you next time. Talk to you then.